Her message arrived at 7:14 p.m., three dots blinking like nervous breaths before she finally committed the lie to text. Can't make it tonight. Something came up at work. Sixth time. Same wording. Same clipped tone, as if rehearsed in a mirror she hoped I'd never see behind her. I typed, "All good," with a hand so steady it frightened even me. Then I opened Find My iPhone. A small circle pulsed on the map, soft blue, innocuous. Except it wasn't at the office. It wasn't even near the office. It hovered over a residential building across town, a place I'd never been but recognized instantly from her stories, her boss's address. I stared at the screen until the numbers blurred. Latitudes, longitudes, all of them suddenly personal, intimate, coordinates of betrayal. My chest didn't tighten. My throat didn't close. No, everything inside me grew quiet, sharp, a kind of stillness I imagine surgeons feel before an incision. I got up, walked to the kitchen, pulled out the bouquet I'd bought earlier for our dinner, white lilies, her favorite, tragic in hindsight. I rewrote the card, a single sentence, "Return these to whoever you've become." Then I ordered a courier. Destination, the same dot pulsing on my screen. 5 minutes later, I watched the driver's icon inch closer to her lie, while the blue dot, her, stayed still, unmoving, settled. And for the first time that month, she had nowhere else to run. The lilies arrived at 8:02. I know because the screen flickered. Her dot shifted, then sprinted across the map like panic made flesh. I imagined her opening the door, seeing her name on the card, reading the sentence she knew I would never write unless I knew, truly knew, what she'd done. But this wasn't new. Not really. The signs had begun quietly. A forgotten perfume, a laugh that didn't belong to me, late nights with no exhaustion in her eyes, a softness in her phone when his name lit up the screen. She'd become lighter around him and heavy around me. I tried denial at first, told myself I was tired, paranoid, reading shadows instead of facts. But shadows don't send people to apartments they shouldn't be in. Shadows don't make my wife flinch when I say her boss's name. When she came home late last week, her blouse misaligned by one button, I pretended not to notice. Pretended the truth wasn't sitting between us at the dinner table, eating the meal I cooked like it had every right. She kissed me then. A soft, absent-minded press of lips against mine. Nothing behind it. A ghost of affection. I knew then. Tonight only confirmed the shape of what I'd already felt cutting into me from the inside. Still, I didn't confront her. Not yet. Truth deserves an audience, a perfectly timed stage. Panic was merely the opening act. While she spun lies, I collected evidence. Quietly, carefully. The way a man prepares for winter, anticipating a cold that will eventually come. I installed a secondary iCloud backup on her devices, a mirror she didn't know existed. Every message, every unsent draft, every photo she thought she deleted. I learned her patterns. When she hesitated before replying to him, 3.4 seconds on average. When she lied to me, 1.2 seconds faster. Efficiency in betrayal. I listened to her breathing when she slept. It changed the evenings she saw him. A softness, almost contentment, as if he'd rewired the rhythm of her lungs. I tracked her calendar. Her late nights matched his urgent project deadlines perfectly. I gathered everything, screenshots, timestamps, the digital crumbs of infidelity. Not out of rage, but precision. Emotion clouds judgment. I needed clarity. Tonight, watching her location bounce erratically, I wasn't angry. I was curious. How long would it take before she called? Before she crafted a new lie? Before she realized I'd never believed the old ones? The phone buzzed at 8:19, her name on the screen. I didn't answer. I watched her pacing around that apartment, her movement frantic enough to turn the map into a heartbeat. She texted, "Where are you? Can we talk? Please." That last one lingered, a small, desperate drop of truth inside all the lies. I didn't respond. Suspense is a powerful thing, especially when someone knows the truth is coming and they can't outrun it. She came home barely composed, perfume smeared into panic. Her hair was different, rushed, unbrushed, her eyes red. She found me at the table, a folder in front of me, hands folded neatly like a meeting she was late to. "What's going on?" she asked, her voice tremble. Mine didn't. I slid the folder toward her. Screenshots, location logs, call histories, hotel receipts she thought were deleted. She didn't speak at first, just stared at the neat, chronological order of her own betrayal. "How long have you known?" she whispered. I tilted my head. "Long enough to stop loving the version of you who did this." Her breath shattered. She reached for me instinctively, habit, not affection. I leaned back. Her face twisted. Guilt, fear, realization. The truth sat between us now, heavy, unavoidable, and entirely hers. I stood, walked to the door, picked up the suitcase I'd packed 3 days earlier. She froze. "You're leaving? Just like that?" "Not just like that," I said softly. "I stayed long enough to let you reveal yourself." She shook her head, unraveling. "I can explain." "You already did." I nodded toward the documents. In vivid detail. She collapsed into the chair I'd been sitting in, the same posture she'd used 100 times to lie to me. Now it held only truth. Then I added the final cut. "I sent the flowers to his apartment for you, not for him. I wanted you to feel the moment your lies stopped working." Her hand flew to her mouth. A small, broken sound escaped. "I didn't do this to punish you," I said. "I did it so I could walk away without any doubt left in me." She reached out again, fingers trembling. I didn't take her hand. The night air outside felt colder, cleaner, like something burned away and left space where pain used to live. I didn't look back at the house, didn't replay the years, didn't mourn the marriage she ended long before tonight. Clarity is a quiet thing, not triumphant, not warm, just absolute. As I walked down the driveway, my phone buzzed again, her name lighting the screen like a fading memory. I let it ring. Then I turned it off. Some endings don't need noise, just distance.